Man. Things fixed. My goodness. What happened to my cords? Oh. Well, I have to go fetch my link. Chat boxes always mess me up. Oh, my. Wish there was a quicker way to fetch my links. Hello. Thanks for coming. Just trying to snatch my link here and post it in Discord. And then I'm going to start coloring. How are y'all? Like I just said, I wish there was a faster way to do this. I was fighting with my printer too. Wasn't printing correctly. I don't know what was going on with that. Now that's done. Okay. Can't complain. My hubby is sick. So I've been dealing with that. And he's we're good, especially like me and my son, we're good for getting the seasonal. When the seasons change, we get the whole sinus and stuffy stuff. Like I say, especially me and my son, springtime and fall time, switching. And we've done pretty good this year. But this time, my husband got it the worst. And I'm like, oh, but I don't know. Y'all know men colds are bad. Maybe not like that. But we'll just, that helps some, doesn't it? That glare. So I think I'm going to start in some Myka Jelina today. And I really love her. You can find her on Etsy. And this is a Best of Line Art Volume 1. But she has several books. Hi, Angela. And I want to get some of her other books. And she also has some grayscale work. And so I've colored in this a little bit. Let's see, like this is one of my girls I've done in here. And let's see how well. Can I find the other one? Might not be able to because I want to. Isn't that how it goes? Oh, there she was. So I'm not done her. But now that I'm printing, I want to just scan and print from this. So I did that. And my printer, at first it was chopping it up, putting it in landscape, and I don't know why. I've not changed the settings, and it's never printed that way on me before. So then I tried it again, and it printed smaller, and I'm just like, ugh, whatever. I can deal with that. So I'm So it's a bit smaller of a page, but not too bad. And I thought, well, I'll just go with it. I'm okay. I'll live. So I'm going to do this rock and roll girl. Well, thank you, Angela. I had to put in a late grocery order. And so I get the messages if there is, they're out of something and, want a replacement. And they just sent me the message. That last doodah y'all heard was the message that my shopper is about to start my shopping. I'm trying to turn it off, but yet I got to pay attention to the phone too in case they want to ask me about replacements of anything. That was mainly because I needed to get hubby some more medicine. So, I'm looking. I still have all my pencils out of the place. I was almost going to start her hair. I think she's going to have blue hair. I think that's the way I'm going to go. But I do know I'm going to paint the background out, and I'm going to leave these music notes and stars all over, and the rest of it I'm going to paint out. And do something else with the background besides all this extra swirly, flowery bits. We're going to do something else. So, like always, I'll be using a mixture of pencils, Holbein, Gloomies, Pablos, Prismas, whatever else I feel froggy to grab, I guess. So this is chestnut. And is this what I want to use? I don't know. I did print this out on Strathmore mixed media. Which I have to trim it down for the size, not this size, but normal size. And so every little thing I trim off, these are my like little scraps that I scribble on when I need to. So yeah, I think I'm going to stick with the chestnut. It's been one of those gloomy days here. And it just started raining a little bit ago, but not too bad. Just a shower, nothing major. And I think it already stopped. Hopefully tomorrow will be a prettier day than today was. We have us some cookout and swimming and play volleyball, cornhole, horseshoe type plans. That was the other thing I had to get in order. It's kind of like a potluck type barbecue. And one of the things that I'm going to take is I make this spaghetti salad stuff, which after I cook my spaghetti noodles, it's a cold, but I like it to sit overnight from the day that I need it, kind of let everything get to know each other and get happy. So I want to get that done tonight and set up for tomorrow. As long as the weather cooperates, it'll be good. We always have a good time where we're going and who we're with. I mean, it's basically childhood friends, lifelong friends. They're like family. And there's some family going, like my husband's sister, her wife and their kid and all that stuff. They'll be there. So should be good. Now her noses, it's just this little line, and I'm just hoping I don't jack her nose up. I struggle with noses, especially when they're this level of least defined. But whatever happens, happens, I guess. But yeah, we're definitely looking forward to tomorrow. Especially the kids. They got a big old pool. And they're going to be swimming. Hopefully, weather cooperating. I'm already going to be turning her. I hate to do the turn, but got to. I think I'll bring y'all down some more too. I need to get a better arm. And see there, the throat thing. There we go. Every time. I've been fine all day. Is everybody else having a good weekend? Any special plans? I wanted to go around here. We got a radio station called WEBN, and since before I was born, they've always put on this. Every year it grows, this big, huge firework event, and it's a pretty big deal around here, and it's like the last big hoorah. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for coming. Glad you can make it. But you can do it from either side of the river, or hotels with balconies right there on the river's edge, or in a boat. And I've done it every way. And our favorite way is on a boat. You can get super close, and that just is the best view for it. So that's our preference. But because of the weather and the height of the river, the current of the river, and all of that, they've got rules about it, which if it's gauged a certain way, they won't let boats anchor down. This one is a Pablo chestnut, but I will be using a variety, which is some Holbein and Lumi and Polychromos, Prisma, Pablos. I mix them all the time. I just jump in and grab whatever pencil I want, pretty much. But yeah, so they're not going to let boats anchor this time, so there won't be boat viewing. So we won't be going. But we get on TV still. I'm scared about my nose. I don't know. I'm going to try to go as light as possible. In case I do jack it up, I can do some erasing. I've gotten a little better, I think, to where I don't feel like they end up looking like a broke nose as often. But for some reason, that was the the look I was getting was a broke nose look. And see, like this, it feels like it's in too far on that side or something. I don't know. Try some more. But they used to be really bad with that crooked, broke nose look. So I have improved for that, but I'm still not getting it. I'm trying. So yeah, see, I feel like we're way too in. Let's see if I went light enough to erase some of that. Yay. All right. Let's see. I think that's a little better. Hi, Dee Dee. Thanks for coming. Trying not to give my girl a broke nose. Anybody just coming? This image is a Myka Jelina. Let me fix this plastic. It's got a plastic sleeve over the front cover to, we're still glossy, but it's not as bad. But yeah, so Myka Jelina art. And this is her best of line art volume. But she has a lot of other great books and grayscale work and line art work. A lot of the images you can get either or. And she is on Etsy. And I will put her Etsy link for her store in the description after this is over. If she's a lesser known artist or just a lesser looked at artist, but again, I like her. On my shopper, we already out of stuff. I wanted some Wonder round top white bread, and they are out. Shopper says they haven't seen that there in 3 weeks. Just need some bread, people. My kids, man, they and jellies and bologna sandwiches. Even when I was a kid, I would never eat bologna. My dad would try to get me all up on it, do some fried bologna and stuff. He thought I'd like it fried or something. I'm like, yeah, no. Not my gig. I'm not big on hot dogs either. That's pretty much what it is. I'm trying to go as wide as possible in case I mess it up. And noses are the biggest things I think I feel I mess up. Oh wow. Are you down in the thick of it there, Sarah? I'm not sure where you're located. But were you in one of the states that got hit? Or towns? Where am I going now? Get on my scribble page. I guess it's going to be that one. I'm going to use my Lumi. This is Dark Flesh 40% luminescence. I want her to be somewhat tannish, but not really. If that makes sense. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. Man, it's got to be rough. I mean, I feel bad for everybody that's going through it. I mean, I understand. I grew up back and forth to Florida, and my mom still lives down there, and so she's been through several. And then back in the day, my kid and teenage years, I was there for a couple, and we had the special, um, I guess they're aluminum or metal or whatever they was, certain kind of awnings that you shut down over top of your windows and stuff. And I can remember, filling the bathtub up with water and using water out of the back of the toilet. We were fortunate that we had a backyard full of fruit trees, all kinds of peaches, lemons, bananas, um, kumquat, I want to say, all kinds of stuff. I feel like they're an avocado. There's a couple more things I can't know, but we ate off the backyard all the time, but especially when the storms come. Yeah, it's rough. That's why I'm a beach person. I'm a tropical girl. Um, I would love to have my own private island, self-sustaining type situation, but I wouldn't want it to be my permanent home. Um, we do all right, and we can get by. We're very fortunate and blessed, but we're not like rich enough to have a vacation home or something like that. But if I ever did, I would it would be right in the sand someplace. But because of the storms and hurricanes and the losing your livelihood and your life basically and that stuff, I couldn't permanently house in those areas. But I would love to. Gosh, like I said, I am very much a tropical style girl. Barefoot, sand in the toes, sunshine, shell hunting. If I didn't have my own tropical island, I would go for the Gulf side of Florida. I would love to have a place in Venice Beach or somewhere in that area. I love that area. I got family on both sides, but the Gulf side is my favorite. That's right. Venice Beach is the shark tooth hunting capital of the world. And so that's where I take my kids. I got family not far from there. But it'd be like, you see people panning for, thank you, Angela. So there's a link to the Myka Jelina Etsy store if you're interested in checking out any of her work. Appreciate that. And so yeah, you see people panning for gold in their little green pan things, swish, swish. So basically, it's the same thing as panning for gold, but we're out there panning for shark teeth. And it's crazy. And you get manatee plates and shark teeth and, all kinds of stuff. But the place is full of it. I mean, it's crazy how many shark teeth there are. And my daughter, she loves sharks and she wants to be a marine biologist. She wants to, I've mentioned it before. She has her dream of save the sharks, save the ocean, save the world type thing. And so I'm all about supporting that and promoting it with her. So I take her places like that and pan for shark teeth together. So we got our little jars full of them and jars full of sands from different beaches and shells and all that good stuff. The kids are like me. They like it hot. They like hot, swimmable weather. Hi, Tara Lynn. Thanks for coming. Sitting here talking beaches and shark teeth while I work on my Myka Jelina page, which is a link above if you're interested, to her Etsy store. I'm going to go to Hawaii too. I've never been to Hawaii, but oh, I want to. It looks so beautiful.
Hey, Mom.
Oh no, we have a child. What, baby?
Sorry to interrupt, but Shy already got dinner out of the oven for us and for me and Dad and Shy.
So y'all good?
Yeah, we're all good. I'm just
So
letting you know.
You just came to tell me she got it out of the oven?
Yeah, so you don't come walking up there
It's okay.
wanting to take it out of the oven.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
Well, enjoy. You're fine. We had a slow go on supper too. We like I said, it's been one of them gloomy, rainy days, and we all kind of been like, we all slept in, and some people took naps, and we've been lazy and just blawing around. But then we got busy and started doing some house chores and taking care of the parrots because we gotta keep their cages clean and stuff like that. And so they're out on their perches and their cages are getting cleaned and the music's jamming. So the birds are singing and dancing. And I looked at the time and I said, woo, I better feed y'all, huh? So they're having a late supper tonight. But like you heard, he just letting me know my daughter pulled it out the oven and got her and Dad and all them fed. Go you. He likes to keep me informed. Oh, thanks, Angela. He's something. He's my chatty Cathy and quite the little entertainer, and takes it talk your head off. He's a wheeler and dealer too. Take that boy around to flea markets and gem and mineral and fossil shows and all that type of thing, and he's working it, getting them deals. We did one of those. They had one of those. There's a big, huge, and this is like springtime thing, but there's this big, huge yard sale that goes across several states. And we did that. We usually do that. We didn't do that this year, but we're usually doing stuff like that. And he went yard sailing with me and had $20 to spend of his own money. And I'll tell you what, he didn't spend a single dime of his money, but he came home with 2 bags of stuff. Because every time he was working one of the stops and wheeling and dealing with somebody, they were just so caught up with him that they were like, I can't even take your money, just take it. So he got everything free. And I was just like looking at him like, okay. And it was, decent stuff. I mean, he had certain cars that were unopened, still in their packages, that were like collector things, because he is into his Hot Wheels and such, but he collects all that stuff. And they wanted $10 a piece for them, and they had 3 of this particular type, and they were from the 70s, and he got 2 for free, because he got 1 for free, but he said, well, what are we going to work out on another one? Because he says, my sister want one too, so I need to hook up my sister. And I was just like, okay. But yeah, everything was free. He said, put this money back in my bank, Mom. I'm his bank. He's tight with his money too. He saved up his money. He will be tight with it. And he just spent his biggest chunk ever earlier this summer. Because my daughter, in February, is her birthday, and she got one of those Oculus, oh Lord, I don't even know, Oculus something or other, the newer one, part 2 of it, for her birthday. And he loved that. And so he wanted one. He said, you can put that on my birthday wish list. And I'm like, okay, duly noted, no problem. And it was just killing him. He wanted to take turns with her on it. And to some degree, I'm like, let him have a turn and all that. I mean, he's 10. But at the same time, it's like, well, dude, it's hers. So, you can't have it all the time and stuff. And so he talked to Dad, and me and my daughter went to Walmart, and they went somewhere else. I guess, I don't know, maybe a Best Buy or something. I don't know. And he spent a big chunk of his money he'd been saving and bought his own. He said, I just couldn't wait for my birthday. I'm like, well, okay, that's on you. But he saved enough money to be able to buy it. So that was hard for him to break down and do, but he did it. Yeah, he is. He learned a long time ago you can catch more bees with honey than vinegar. And he works that program. I'm going to get my light peach Prisma. The best, my daughter, she kind of tries to do that too, but she's not, what would be the word? She's just not as good at it as he is. And so we were at a crystal gem and mineral crystal fossil type show, and she was looking at the megalodon teeth, and she was asking for, do you have any female megalodon teeth? And this guy looked at her like, well, I don't know, how am I and he says, how am I supposed to know if they're male or female? Well, she stood there and she spent like 15-20 minutes had him bust them out and showing him and explaining to him how you can tell which ones are male and which ones are female from these fossiled megalodon teeth. And he's just looking at her and looking at me like, I'm like, she knows what she's talking about. But she gave him the big explanation and stuff, and she ended up buying one of them from him, and she didn't get it free, but he did give her a nice little discount. I think it was because he saw that she was so knowledgeable about them. So that's been her best wheeling and dealing score. Yeah, now see mine, Terry Lynn, they don't have any game systems other than they each have a switch, which for some reason they both randomly messed up at the same time, and we have to ship them off. We've talked to Nintendo, and we have to ship them off, and they're gonna uh, repair them, repair or replace is the deal. And then the Oculus 2 is the only other thing that they have. But my daughter does workout things on there, and my husband, he likes to get on there and play too. And there's some kind of boxing game. I want to say it's called Creed, but I could be wrong on that. But he does the boxing, and the kids do the boxing, uh, and they work up a sweat. Especially my daughter when she does this workout program thing on there. I'm like, well, you go, girl, get it. Hi, Marilyn. How are you? Thanks for coming. Now, my son, his main thing on there, he likes to play paintball on it, but he's obsessed with the Titanic and sinking ships and all stuff about that. And there's some kind of Titanic game on there, and he's on that a lot. I say a lot, but they don't even get to play them every day. I have limits because I'm like, y'all need to do something else. Go outside and play board games and do just other stuff. But they are pretty cool. I mean, I've gotten on it and they want to show me stuff, and they're hooked up to my phone, so I can like see what they're doing and watch them play. They get a kick out of that too. I wish I would have had that kind of thing when I was a kid. I had game systems when I was younger, but not no virtual reality stuff. That would have been cool. Oh, that's cool, Marilyn. Now I have no markers and no Copics. Um, but I'm getting into it. Sorry, my shopper. They don't have this and they don't have that. But I don't know. I'm a pencil girl. And the only markers in the house are those. The kids have that set of the Crayola. I don't know what are they called? This Crayola Super Tips or something. They're not the big fat markers, but and I tried to play with them. I saw another YouTuber, um, Dee Dee, if y'all are familiar, Dee Dee Willingham. On her channel, she uses them and she uses them kind of like watercolors. And I'm like, ooh, let me try that. And I'm like, here, kids, give me your stuff. And yeah, it didn't work out. But then I did use those and give it a try to have them like as a base and then use my pencils on top. And I didn't like how that worked out. And I thought, well, it's probably, I need to up the marker game to truly play with it that way. Gotta get me a sip of my tea. My tea. And green tea with citrus. Not much of a hot tea drinker. But I've been watching all these videos and I see all this wonderful, amazing work done with them Copics. And I'm like, I just feel like I'm not into markers enough to be spending that type of money. Well, I've been telling myself that for a few years actually. And I broke down and I added to my wish list that I'm gonna get me the Copic skin tone set. And I was like, I felt like that would be the best place for me to start was the skin tone set. But I know it's a whole skill to learn for sure. But I'll get some at some point and give those a whirl. Yeah, that's how she was using those markers on a little palette and stuff. I was like, oh, I didn't know you could do that on it. I had no idea. That wasn't that good idea. I just, my execution just wasn't the same. Um, but, I'm sure if it was something I played with more frequently that I could improve, I just haven't bothered, to be honest. I love watching people work with Copics and because like I said, I've seen some gorgeous stuff be done with them. And I also like watching people real dark grayscale or um, what is that, like Hannah Lynn grayscale or something. And they use the markers and they go over these one stroke and it just pops and the picture comes to life and it looks so good. I think that's amazing. But I like my pencils. I play with a few other mediums, but they're to accompany my pencils, not solely just that type of thing. I got a little watercolor set. I ain't no good at it. And I know, I got to practice to get familiar with them and such, but I just haven't. I've heard good things about the Ohuhu. Um, and then I thought that the Cali art, Cali art, were supposed to be fairly good also. And my daughter got a set of those Cali arts that are like it's a brush tip on one side and then like a finer tip on the other, and they're a real skinny marker. They're not a fatter one. She got a pack of those for her birthday from her aunt, And I was like, ooh, I know that brand. That's supposed to be some decent stuff. And I kind of messed with those for a minute, and I was like, mm, not what I thought they were going to be. So I take that back. There is another different markers. Her Cali Art set. I don't mess with them. I just wanted to, you know, feel them out and stuff. I wasn't trying to actually like use them anyway, because they're hers, and let our stuff be. Give her more reason to think she can jump in my stuff, and I'm trying to keep her out of my stuff. Every time I turn around, can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? Hey, Pamela, how are you doing? Sitting here coloring on some Myka Jelina. Listening to my kids be goofy upstairs. Ooh, what you cooking? Ooh, gotta check my phone. Yep. This she's gonna. That seems like they're just out of everything I had on my order. Wow. Oh, wow. I don't have my fettuccine noodles or anything. Oh, yum. I love chili. I haven't made another pot since the last early week of spring. And it was still pretty cool. But I did make a big pot of beef stew last week. We won't be eating at home tomorrow, so I'll have to worry about cooking. But then on Monday, I think I'm going to make a pork roast. I'm trying to decide. I don't like her nose. My daughter wants me to make some stuffed green peppers soon. Because I'll ask everybody, my husband and both the kids, the week before the upcoming week, I'll ask everybody, what any requests, what are you craving? What do you want me to cook? And I may or may not fulfill that. It depends. But when I asked, that was one of hers. So now I'm going to get my regular peach. Put a little bit on there. This pencil always concerns me. I don't want to make things too peachy. And it looks so much lighter on the screen than it does in person. Way back when I first started coloring, I'd grab my peach, my light peach and my light peach, and I would just like use those two and color the whole thing. And I was looking at some of my older stuff a couple weeks ago, and I was just like, wow. I think I picked the wrong day to get some stuff. Oh man. Now I've got to watch it, be like, nope, this isn't dark enough. I want more here, want more there. And I have to constantly remind myself, stay light, stay light. Light layers, build it up. Because there's been so many times I have like overdone it and just pushed too hard. And I'm like, oh, well, that's too much. Now there's this dramatic line going on. I definitely feel like I struggle with skin still. Now where am I going? And the light flesh, I don't know. I always feel like light flesh is too yellowy. I think I'm going to put a little light coat of this on there. So this is Luminescence Light Flesh 10%. I don't know about y'all, but for me, the Lumies are the hardest to read. It's so tiny, and I think they rub off faster, but it's so tiny on there. And then you got to turn it as you look, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but compared to, they just seem like the hardest ones to read. I wish it was just written straight down the side, end of story. I think the which ones? The polys? Yeah, that's a poly. I think the polys and, well, I don't know. The Pablos, they're pretty good too with reading. But I guess my favorite, as far as, I think the Light Fast. I think it would be between the polys or the Pablos, my bad, and Lightfast, I think you can read the easiest. The Lumis are the ones that, for some reason, I feel like they're the hardest to read. Pamela, did you head over to the Derwent website and get you a free pencil? If anybody don't know, you can go to the Derwent website and search around on there, and there's a section where they'll send you a free sample of either a Derwent Inktense or a Derwent Lightfast. Now, mind you, they're only going to send you one pencil, but it's one whole pencil, and it's free. And this is that light flesh. Oh, cool. Now, when I got it, we did it. I chose the Derwent Lightfast, but at the time that I did that, I didn't have the Lightfast set yet, and I have had already a 24 set of Inktense. So I was a little familiar with Inktense. I still want to get the full set and build those colors up and have the full range, because I do enjoy those. You know, you get them wet and they really pop. So I went with the Lightfast at that time. Oh, I hear my daughter saying hi. I wonder if that means the. I think the grocery lady's here. I heard my daughter say hi to somebody and holler for my son. And I hear him just going upstairs. Because they already knew. Usually we do it all together. And I watch things, make sure I get the things I've ordered and everything matches up to my receipt and that type of stuff. But everybody's got their jobs of what they put away. Like my son, he's in charge of all the Lazy Susan items. They're on their own tonight. Oh, thank you, Angela. I've got to figure out, and I don't know what you use, Angela, on your streams, but I have this with a Loratech webcam, and so it's got this like little ring light around it built in. I got it on the first setting because I think the moving it up it makes it too bright. But I'm wanting to figure out how I can get a truer color on the screen because, like I said, this is a lot darker in person than what it's looking on the screen. And I don't know if that's a matter of lighting. And I mean, like I thought about getting one of those lights that's like a daytime lamp type situation. I don't know if that will improve. I'm not sure. So I'm wanting to get a closer match and show truer color as best as possible. So that's something I would like to work on and figure out to improve on my videos and streams. See, I don't have any ring lights or any kind of fancy equipment. I wouldn't even have this webcam if it wasn't for my husband. He bought me laptop and webcam for Christmas, this past Christmas. And I'm like, what do you want me to do with this? And he was like, you're going to be on doing YouTube. And so you need to. And I'm like, okay. If it wasn't for my husband and kids, I probably would have never started YouTubing. They kind of pushed me into it. I was fine just enjoying everybody else's channels. I was a nervous wreck to start. But I'll admit I'm glad I have, because, meeting people and being able to have some interaction with people, especially folks that I enjoy sitting around watching too. It is nice, that extra level of interaction and such. So I don't regret it. I'm glad I did it. But it was them that pushed me into it, that started it all for me. Yeah, I've never been into all the tech side. I'm just like, oh man. I mean, whether you're a color tuber or whatever type of channel y'all have, people that's got it looking good and they do all this extra fancy stuff and all the editing and all that stuff. It's I mean, props to everybody on here, because there is a lot of technical skill and work put into it. That's for sure. I'm nowhere near that level of intricacy, but just a little dabble I've got going on, I can definitely tell people that are rocking it out like that, man. They're putting in some work. Absolutely. Did I use my light? I don't know. Can't remember if I used light peach or not now. This is where it might all go wrong. I seen, Angela, you have, and I think it's Emily stickers, which I really want to get the pencil wind chime one, but I haven't. But on your dowel, I saw that you have your stickers, and I'm like, oh, I have stickers on mine too. I got weird stickers though. I just thought it was funny. Like, let's decorate everything. My next time I order from Etsy, I'm definitely going to get that sticker from Emily. And if anybody doesn't know, I'm talking about Emily Illustrator. She has a YouTube channel by that name and an Etsy store. And you can buy images and stickers, and she's got super cute stickers. I just haven't ordered from Etsy in a little bit. Kind of got to, watch it. Just had other things. But my next Etsy order is going to include that sticker. If not a couple. Hey, Shannon. Thanks for coming. Working on a Myka Jelina page. Trying not to jack her skin up. Especially the nose. Don't look too broke, I reckon. I mentioned earlier when I first started, I'm good for making them look like they got a really bad broke nose. So I've been trying to improve on that. Well, thank you, Angela. It is, yeah. Etsy's rough, man. I mean, I've got a cart going on right now that is ridiculous. And I won't get everything in my cart at one time. That would be way too much. But I just, drop it in there, and so it's kept. Of course, I heart everything too, but What kind of shop do you have, Sarah? Oh, that's right. Happy birthday, Angela. I seen that on Facebook and said happy birthday to you there. With those beautiful flowers that you got. Birthday time. So does that mean we're going to see a birthday coloring haul soon? You're going to be doing some shopping? I love embroidery. I don't do it, but I like it. I have a lot of vintage pillowcases that mostly toward the end that you'd be slipping the pillow in. There's some kind of trim or design, just pretty stuff that embroidered. A lot of it, home done. And I love those pillowcases. I like a lot of old stuff though. I have more vintage and antique stuff in my house than brand new stuff. I think one of my favorite things I have, I love a lot of my stuff. I don't know if that sounds bad or not, but obviously it's my stuff. I must like it. But I don't know. I love it. History to it and the stories behind things, especially if it's family heirlooms and stuff like that. But one of my favorite goodies I have is a rain lamp. And if y'all don't know what a rain lamp is, it is, you put mineral oil in it and it's got like a statue inside. And basically it's like fishing line that surrounds it and the mineral oil drips down that. They call it a rain lamp. And ever since I was a little kid, I loved those things. And I found me one at a yard sale, but I want more. And I love it. And if you've never seen one, you have to go YouTube that and look at a rain lamp in action. Because I don't know, I think they're pretty cool. Soul Asylum concert. That's going to be fun. My daughter is begging me to take her to her first concert. And I'm like, yeah, no, not yet. You're going to have to wait. But I do want to be the one to take her to her first concert. I have a couple of those too, Sarah. I've got one of those really old black and gold singers that pull up out of the cabinet type thing that it's in. And then I've got another one that's like on a table. I think it's a singer. And it's a bit longer and stuff. And it's got like a metal wheel on the side and the old metal foot pedal thingy and stuff. I think I'm going to leave her face alone. Let it settle on me for a minute. So I'm pretty sure she's going to have blue hair. So I kind of feel like she needs to have blue eyes. So I might go. So this is my Holbein Aqua. Now with my Holbein, I have all my sets are complete sets of pencils except my Holbeins. That's like an extreme wish list item, the Holbein set. But I've bought some open stock. So I have like 22-ish of them. I went heavy in the greens, but I did get a few other colors and a few of the whites. And it is my favorite white pencil. The Holbein white and the Derwent Chinese white. I think those are my two favorite. And then next would be a Lumi, I think. Which I know most people Prisma, but I mean, I like the Prisma white, but I like those better. Just for me. So I'm going to get this aqua in her eye. I have some backup pencils I need to get pretty much for all the brands I have. I have them in my BlickArt. And I think when I go to get them and do that, I might add another handful of Holbeins to that order. Go for some more skin tones and I don't know, just the earth tone ones, I think. Yeah, I know you can get open stock variety of brands from Amazon also, but if I'm not mistaken, I think Blick has a better price on their open stock. And I have never had a problem with them coming damaged or anything like that. Now when I got my polychromo set, I got the 120 set in the metal tin and all that jazz, and there were 5 pencils in that tin that had issues. 3 were problematic, 2 was not so bad, but still there was issues, so why not get it fixed? They were cracked all the way down the barrel, and the whole core was loose and wiggling, and I'm like, well, that's just going to be a problem the whole time sharpening. So, but I contacted them, and Blick replaced those 5 pencils like zippity zap, no problem. But I've ordered a ton of open stock, and they've always been packaged really well and came in perfectly fine condition. Oh, well, yeah. We all want it now. The longest wait I ever had that drove me nuts was the Light Fast. They were a Mother's Day gift, and I ordered in April, and they kept changing the back stock date on them, and it wasn't until the end of July that I got them. I was like, man. But, there's worse things in life. So I ain't going to complain. Oh, no. My doggy's going to cry. Ooh, do I have them all? Come here, Bub. Brewster. It's okay. She'll come get you. My daughter is his best friend. They run around playing hide and seek together and all kinds of stuff. He's at the top of the steps crying for her. But I know what they're fooling with them groceries still, so he better off down here with me out of the way for the moment. She'll come get him. If you haven't seen, I posted a picture of him and his sister for my Breezy Brewster on my Instagram. If you want to see the dog that I'm talking about. And they're 12 and a half, and they're the biggest dogs in the house. So they're seniors now, but they're the youngest dogs that I have. Which is sad. I've never been to a Blick store either, Angela, but there's one that's like 2.5 hours away. And me and my friend, she's been a few times. I'm like, girl, why didn't you call me? But that could be dangerous too. But we've talked about it. Eventually I'm gonna make a road trip with her to go. Because that's not too terrible of a drive. So we're gonna have to do that. And I'm gonna go. So that was, let's see, what did I just use? I don't even know now. A Pablo and a Holbein, and now a Lumi. And it is some fancy long word blue, number 162. Oh, that's not bad drive at all, Angela. Why haven't you been there yet? You better go. There's more of a point on this one here for sure. Oh boy. Here we go again.
I'm sorry, YouTube people and all that. Groceries came, so
You're fine, baby.
we had to let you know.
Penny, you just turned my light off.
Oh no.
Dog stepped on my lamp button.
Uh,
Oh, you say you're putting the bird seed away?
yeah.
Well, thank you, baby.
Me and Tyler just put
Okay.
some things away. Bring out.
Okay.
Sorry for the interruption. Also, have I been quiet this entire time?
You're fine.
Have we been?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna continue doing that. So.
Alrighty.
I'm probably also gonna have an apple. So.
You go ahead and have an apple. Remember to wash it first.
Apple.
Okay.
Also, there's medicine on your counter too.
Okay, that's for Daddy. Thank you.
Also,
Sorry, y'all.
letting the dogs out.
Yeah, go ahead. Brewster was crying for her anyway. Take them. Let him out.
Continue with your normal program. Beep.
Okay. Oh, sorry, y'all. Continue with your normal program, he said. He's something. Oh, yeah. I understand that, Angela. I couldn't believe too everybody with the places that was affected, man. It just such a shame, and all the damage that they got up in New York too. I was like, wow. I was just hate for people to have to be going through that stuff. She's gonna have to get turned a little bit here. Need my lefty self. Hopefully, the aftermath of everything that happened to all those folks, they won't go long without proper assistance. And I hope they get everything, the help they all need, and get things going back to normal for themselves as much as possible, quickly as possible. Not waiting around to get the help they need. I want to put some lines on my eyeballs. That's the part that I'd say makes me nervous, because I feel like that's where I mess it up the most. Back to my Holbein Aqua. See, where I live, we don't. I mean, we can get some of the aftermath from hurricanes and this bad stormy weather. And we had really bad um, one time. We went without for 3 weeks um, without utilities because of the aftermath storms from a hurricane down south. But we don't normally deal with that. We can have bad storms and we get a lot of bad snow, uh, but I guess the worst the ones that we get are tornadoes. I know we've had a few earthquakes, but they were not nothing, no major nothings, but just some mild earthquakes where you kind of felt it and you might have seen something shake in your house and think, oh, what was that? Was that a hurt? It was just, was that really one? But nothing to cause any damage or destruction or something, thankfully. I'm gonna scan some of them sheets out of that book. I just did a book flip recently of a Kelly Horton book, and she has some bonus pages in the back for eyes and hair and things. I'm gonna scan them and I'm gonna work on my eyeball game. And I saw the other day I saw on TV about the animal shelters and all the displaced animals and what they were doing to try to get them moved out and hopefully find a home. So, I mean, I feel horrible for all the people, um, but I feel bad for the critters too. They aren't there yet. I feel like I need a darker blue. That's not it. Or maybe even black. This is going to be my Pablo black. Ivory black. I'll end up doing that, Marilyn. I just get nervous about it because, like I said, that's where I feel like I mess up. I don't know if it's I make them too dark, too close together, too many. I don't know. It's all of the above, really. With the kids back in school, I mentioned it in one of my videos I just did recently about we haven't really found our. I need another sip. Um, our rhythm being back to school and everything. Hey, Tanya. Thanks for coming. I feel like once we get in a better rhythm and routine, I'll have more time to color and more time to practice some things and even play with some new mediums. We're out of practice though. The kid's been on remote learning for the last year and a half. So, hi, Mary. Thanks for coming. I'm just happy we ain't missing the bus in the morning right now. Well, my daughter's a walker, but my son, he rides. I feel very accomplished. I get him, she leaves way before he goes to school, and then I get him on the bus, and I just think, yes, we made it. All right, put me a point on there. See that thing? The Dow point. Now I'm like concentrating. I can't even see my lines. Oh, thank you, Mary. There are some other pages by Myka Jelina that I want to go and get on doing, but they got a lot of small details. Like one, those, I think they're called gypsy beads, pretty sure. But like the wood beads that you have hanging in a doorway or whatever, or well, used to. I guess it's an old school thing. Love those though. um, but there's one picture I can't wait to do, but it's got a whole big chunk of those type of gypsy beads in it, and they're small, and I'm like, ooh. So I don't feel like that's something I want to do. Um, a lot of tiny stuff in it. I need to go back and watch my favorite eye tutorial again. Buy color and chat with Sammy. She works some eyes. And I keep referring to that. Of course, they don't look like hers, but it's okay. Hmm. Now I'm gonna pull my blues for my hair. Apparently it's all movies. Beat that one. I got all my little cases with these tags. I totally got this idea from Shannon Chopin-Hayes. Hers were bigger, I think, but I saw hers and I thought that's such a good idea to label them. And I had this stuff laying around to like decorate it and all that. So I did that to all my cases because I saw that idea on Shannon's and I liked it better than like writing on the case itself and all that type of thing. So that was a great idea. Loved it. Getting the 161 light blue. 159. And the black. There it is. My black room. And I might switch between the black, the Lumi and Pablo, just because I like Pablo's in hair because I think they hold a point nicely. Let's not mix those. Not yet. Whew. I'm going to take this luminescence light blue 161. Just lay it down everywhere on the hair. I just recently had my hair cut. A big, huge chop. It was down to the booty, and now it's above my shoulders. I'm like, yes. My first shower, I so overused shampoo. I was like, wow. But I was used to washing a buttload of hair, so. But I definitely don't use as much shampoo now. But I want to color my hair. I have never in my life colored my hair. And I feel like I just want to put either blood red tips or streaks, maybe, if I get brave. Oh, yeah. It was instant relief. I was like, yes, freedom. I just kept swinging it back and forth. It was getting so annoying. Getting tangled up in it in the bed and all that. And I can't sleep with a pony in or something like that. It just aggravates me. Like I said, I'm saving on shampoo now, and it's so much quicker to brush my hair. And I already know I don't like it long like that, so I don't know why I let it go so long. But well, recently, because this is like 6th or 7th time I've had that dramatic of a chop. Oh wow, Mary. See, I wish I was that brave. Just buzz it off. I mean, I still got enough hair to pull it back into a pony if I need to. And so like if I'm cooking or I'm like hitting the house hardcore cleaning and stuff and I'm working up a sweat and all that type of jazz, I want it backing on my face. In my kitchen, I'm real particular in the kitchen. I want my hair, I always make sure fresh, clean shirt. Don't want to chance any kind of dog hair or something. And my hair is back, usually in a little pony and headband and stuff. I don't know, I'm real weird about that. But I am about pushing myself to get brave enough to color it some funky colors. Right, yeah. My daughter, she was bad about she would put it in a ponytail like straight out the shower and her hair wouldn't even be all the way dry. And I was like, "You don't want to do that. That's not good for hair." I almost did shave my head one time. Um, but it was my mother-in-law, she had cancer and the first time she battled it, we lost her in the second battle, but the first battle she had with it, when she lost all her hair, she was very upset about it. Um, she took it very hard, and I was going to shave my head to, and even my daughter was thinking about it too, and I was like, let's do it. And my husband told her that I was going to do it, which I didn't. I wasn't going to tell her. I was just going to do it, and like, da da. And he told her, and she threw a fit, and she begged me not to do it. And I was like, oh, okay. But I almost did for that reason, just to for her type of thing. But she literally begged me not to do it. So she talked me right out of it. Thank you, Mary. And she was a special woman. I got very blessed because when I met my husband, I was only 16 years old. And so we finished growing up together basically. And me and her got along from the get-go. We never had any type of argument or beef. I'm sure we probably got on each other's nerves a few times over the years, um, but nothing major. And we never argued. We never had issue with each other. We always enjoyed each other's company. We'd go shopping together and um, just all kinds of stuff. We were super close. When she got told that her cancer came back, um, it turned so bad that the doctor said there was no point in even doing chemo. That it was just it wasn't. It was really bad. And we asked her what she wanted, and she wanted to come to my house. So we moved her in my house, and I took care of her till the end. So I got to have that time with her too. But we miss her. We miss her a bunch. There were a few days at different times during that. Kids got to play hooky from school. And like one day was for my son, and she wanted to just watch movies and hang out with him. And um, that's what they did. One of the movies they watched. If y'all hear that popping, that is my elbow. I'm sorry. I've broken, dislocated my elbow and torn a tendon and all this, and I'm like a year and a half out from that, and it's pretty much healed, but I'm stuck with this constant popping, and it aggravates me. But anyway, but one of their movies was The Aristocrats, and so now that's like a super special movie for my son. It was really hard on the kids too. They miss their nana. My husband misses his mommy. They were super close. He's major mama's boy, not in a bad way, but in a good way. That was one thing. Like when we met and we were just dating, I paid attention to how he treated his mom, and he'd get off work and he'd come pick me up. We'd stop by. He would, like time me out for a minute, and he would just focus on her for a good 15 or so minutes, and they would chat. And he worked at a car wash, and so he got like daily tips, and then had his regular end of the week paycheck, but he'd have his daily tips, and he would take his tip money out and keep a little bit. He'd give his mom all the rest, and he was just so loving and caring and respectful to his mom and stuff. And I took note of that when we were dating, because I couldn't have been with nobody that wasn't going to treat their mama right. We decided to get married really quick. We met on a Saturday at a pool hall, and he asked me to marry him that Monday. So, which was in January, and we had our wedding in December. So we were engaged almost a year before we got married. Just shy of it. But I knew, before I knew what his name was, I knew he was going to be my husband. We definitely took a big chance, and was playing with fire a little bit to be so young and such. And I don't advise or recommend anybody to get married that young or that quick or anything. But we got lucky, because this December will be 28-year wedding anniversary. So we got lucky. We ain't got tired of each other yet. Now, let me get my darker one. This is Prussian blue, $1.59. Now I'm nervous. I like the like Mariola hair. Doesn't scare me as much because there's, you got that nice shading and grayscale going on, and it's a little guidance. And hair that has none of that scares me. But I try to, I guess it's the right thing to do, where I'm just trying to imagine it myself and put it in there myself. But when I first started, like what happened is I would be like, oh, a dark and light, dark and light, dark and light, and then work it in. And I'm thinking, well, now it just looks like striped hair. And I'm like, I'm not going for striped hair. It's not supposed to be striped hair. So I'm like, man, messed it up. I think I'm going to keep this mostly and top part line area. But it was definitely for sure when I was breaking it up like that, it was so stripy, and I'm like, yeah, that's not a good look. But of course, when I do Mariola hair and it has all those different areas broke up into shadows and stuff, and I get it done, it doesn't look like that then. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to avoid. It's like, let the flicking begin. My daughter, she's working. I printed her a Mariola page, the boy with the dragon. I had done it and she liked it, and so she wanted it. So I printed her a copy, and she started it, and she it's her first time doing the hair flicking thing, and she's using blues. It's like, well, like turquoisey blues and stuff, and it's looking really good. I was like, hey, I like what you got going on there. She gets it finished. I'll have to show y'all. She just got to start to it. So a lot of people would be like, oh, you can't meet people online, blah, 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 blah. And I think, you definitely have to be more cautious about that. But I think it's a lot more common now. And I think people can find love online. I think being online is so much more common for people now than way back when it first started, that it's more accepted too. My brother in law met his wife online. This is like, we're talking back in Yahoo chat days. Ooh, MySpace days. Yes. Of course, him and his wife are divorced now. So ex wife, I should say. But I did get my awesome niece out of it. They met that way. Ah, that's good, Shannon. From MySpace to my place. Hey, I miss MySpace. Well, that's the year my daughter was born. Shoot, MySpace is what taught me how to do HTML coding and all that stuff. I was coding all kinds of stuff back then. Of course, I can't remember any of it now. Don't have to use it. Have music playing on all the pages. It was real, Tanya. We had a good time there. Used to Yahoo used to be super popular, and Yahoo had all these games that you could get on. There was this one called Yo. Oh man, I can't believe I got so caught up in a game. I was just mind blown. But I was a Yoville person, had a whole world going on. It was almost like a Sims type of situation. I'm listening. How you feeling? MySpace was such a thing. One of my parents had her own MySpace. My blue, not my blue and gold, but my Congo African gray. She had her own MySpace page, and she had a bunch of friends, and they were other parents that had their own MySpace page. It was a hoot, I tell you. I had a friend that kept trying to get me to switch over to um, Facebook. And at that time, I'm like, oh, I have this whole world created over here. Why do I want to switch? And it wasn't until MySpace is going away and it's just going to be music only and stuff like that that I broke down and jumped on the Facebook train. So it took. So by the time I did, that's when MySpace was not, leaving, not a thing no more. But as of a few years ago, you could still look your stuff up and like uh, see your pictures and stuff like that, which I was super happy about. And that's the only reason why I know, because my husband had lost one of his best friends, and they were, gathering pictures and stuff for the services. And they asked us for some of the pictures because they we knew this guy for a super long time, and we could have some way back pics. And I had some in all kinds of places, but I knew I had some really old stuff on MySpace, and I was able to go and snag some of those old pictures for that. Of course, I don't know if you still can, but I assume you could. Yeah. Do you remember, Angela, like the little girls? And they kind of remind me of, I don't know, like, I guess maybe Hannah Lynn or something. They'd be all these little girls in these cool looking outfits, and they were animated and all the little animated things. It made it run slower, but my pages were loaded with different animations and the music playlist boxes and stuff. Yes. I had several pages linked together. They were all color themed and all that. It was a bit much. I'll have to go over this more. Yeah, they had. Yeah, they did. They had a certain name. I don't remember either. Let me get on this black. I don't want too much of it, but a little bit. I haven't been to stores a lot in person, uh, which everybody knows why. But I did go not too long ago, and we were there like school shopping, school supplies shopping time, and I had to run in to. I was trying to find highlighters. I had the hardest time finding basic highlighters. I was like, man. So I ran in looking for those. And that was an in and out situation. So then maybe 2 weeks later, I ran in again for something else, quick and simple something. And the whole lane that was full of all the school supplies, that was all gone. And it was all Halloween stuff. And they had a whole other section full of Halloween stuff. I'm like, it's still August, people. So then I thought, well, before I blink, they're going to have Christmas stuff out. I wonder if I should just bust out my Christmas stuff. So now that's all I can think about. Is like, I don't like winter. I'm not a winter person. Um, but I do love Christmas and Christmas decorations. So I'm all anxious to get my Christmas decorations out. That's so bad. My husband would die. He thinks I already do it too early. I do it the weekend before Thanksgiving, typically. But that's just because I like to have it all out for Thanksgiving time. And all the holidays are done at my house. So, but my daughter, she's started decorating her room for Halloween. Why can't you just go on with that? And this is again that nice big fancy word, blue 162. I don't mind the hot chocolate pumpkin pie and Christmas cookies, but winter itself, no, no. Maybe if it was a Florida winter, I would. It would be a better. I just don't like the cold. I don't like not being able. I don't. I can't. So I'm like the summer one. I'll take the kids out. We go creeking. We go do this. We go do that. And we're out in it. And I like the sunshine and the heat. My husband can't stand it. Um, he's a sweater, and he don't like it. But he likes the cold. And so winter comes, I don't get outside much. Um, he takes the kids out. And, they go sledding and they build the snowman and they do all that stuff. And I'm like, I take pictures from the doorway of them doing that stuff together, the snowman things. And I'm inside, got everybody's dry stuff going in the dryer, so it's nice and warm and cozy for them to switch into out of their wet stuff and be ready to serve up the hot chocolate to them and all that. But I don't want to be out there. And I like to be outside, so that's part of what drives me nuts about winter is just not getting outside like I like. Oh, I couldn't imagine being in Alaska. I would be miserable. My grandma used to joke about that, and she was a cold weather person, and she's like, I want to go to Alaska and blah blah blah. And then she would joke around about the men to women ratio and stuff. And I was like, no, no, not me. I couldn't imagine being there. That's just like, oh no. And then they have the whole dark so much and all that. Like, no, I can't. I'm a night owl and I'm a night person and all that. But I just I need my heat and sunshine. I went sledding with him and the kids one time and I was like, no, no, no. Told my hubby, you go on with that. I got the summer stuff. We go to Mud Mania and army crawl through the mud and obstacle courses, and that's a way better for me. Now I think it's pretty. We have a nice cold winter and you got the snow and the ice on the trees, the way you look across the field and see all these ice trees and all that stuff. It's gorgeous. Beautiful. I'll look at it, take it in for a minute, and okay, now I'm done. Like, take a picture. I'm over it. Get in the house. So, I mean, I need to. Life on a tropical island would be for me. Never wearing shoes. Oh. It's always funny listening to things going on upstairs. I'm in a basement. I have a finished basement, but I'm in the basement. And that's where I have a whole area set up for my coloring and crafting stuff. Basically, my coloring, crocheting, and my junk journaling stuff. And I've never lived somewhere with basement before or upstairs, and we have 3 levels. So I'm always amused by listening to stuff upstairs, and then like through from the entryway past the living room, the whole eating kitchen area, the steps that go up to the kids' floor, and then the steps going down into the family room is all hardwood. And my dogs, listening to them and their nails, it sounds like 50 tap upstairs. Yeah, pitter patter. I don't know if I've mentioned it before or not, but when we first moved in, let's see, the last couple weeks of October, first couple weeks of November of last year is when we were moving in. So we haven't been here a whole year yet. Um, but when we first moved in, I mean, first we moved most of the stuff first, and we were still going back and forth. So I didn't bring the animals over because I knew once I brought the animals over, then I'm staying. Like they wouldn't gonna be here and stay all night by themselves. What's the matter?
Huh?
Everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I came to check on you.
Oh,
How's it going?
it's going. But out here with the animals, it was my dog's first time experiencing stairs. Poor things. Every single one of my dogs, which there's 6, fell down the steps. And then one of them is severely blind. I mean, I kind of think she still sees shadows and light and dark to some degree, but it has gotten worse. So, but she's completely blind, and it lasted a lot longer for her. But she's an old pro now. She can run through this house and don't miss a lick. But I did laugh at them for falling down the steps, but I felt so bad for them. And they were just looking at me like, what is this? Why are there stairs, and why am I falling? They didn't get it. And then the little blind one and Breezy, my big girl, they, for some reason, instead of slowing down and feeling for that next step and paying attention, they wanted to stand at the top of the steps and just like, it's like they said, to heck with it, and they would Superman dive. And I was just like, no. I'm like, what are you doing? Why would you do it that way? I'm like, oh my gosh. I thought I would end up taking a dog to the vet because it's broke something, because they want a Superman dive down the stupid stairs. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, how did you come up with that as your best option to go down the steps? I'm just like, I'm going to go for it. Thank God they got over that. Nobody got hurt. I still can't figure out how that worked out in their head to be the better option. She's gonna have to go way around. Wee. Ah, yes, much better. Because I tried to help them, and like go step by step with them and try to help them, especially the little blind one. Put my hands on her, make her, stop her and slow her down and make her feel for the next step. And just to outright dive over top of me, I'm thinking, oh my Lord. When we first moved in, getting things put in place and where things would be, chairs and couches and tables and stuff. Uh, she bumped into a few things here and there and box along the way and stuff. But once we got all that situated, it didn't take her long to like map the place out and catch on. So that was good. And I added some of those outside, like, I guess, walkway lights or whatever. Um, I set those up out back and made a walkway light trail coming and going from the door for her. That's her little guide at nighttime. But I don't feel like she probably needs them anymore either. She's learned it all pretty well. I'm gonna get the there's like 5 steps that come from the kitchen level to the family room level. And I want to get a couple little lights to stick on those stairs. I thought it was going to be just for Jill, my little blind dog, but apparently us people need it too because I keep missing the bottom step. My husband fell down the steps, my daughter fell down the steps, and my son, he just falls up the steps. So I don't know what's up with that, but he's mastered falling up steps. Yeah, they know. I've told them, I said, don't be running around here barefoot in your socks. I'm like, y'all just take your socks off because that was something in the first few days. And we had a friend come over with her 2 kids that were super close with and, see the house. And that was like, it was almost completely still an empty house at that point. And they came over to check it out. And her 2 and my 2 were running up and down the steps. And I'm like, y'all got to stop doing that because her daughter and my boy both slipped down and they was in their sock feet. I'm like, no, no, no. So they learned real quick to not bother with socks. Oh, that's a good one. Yes, it can be. Proceed with caution. Slippery wood. Angela, I hope somebody puts that in the quote section on Discord. Putting all these flicks in, and I keep rolling my pencil around to keep it at its best point. I feel like it's just still not getting the flicky stuff yet. It's smooshing. I can't hold you right now. You hear that little voice? That was Jill, the blind one. She's right at me, wanting me to pick her up, hold her. My bird's calling me. I hear that whistling. That's Gracie May, the Congo African grave. One of these times, I'm gonna have to bring them down. Let you see them on the camera. Of course, I won't be able to color at that moment, so it'll just have to make an appearance and go back to a perch. They would be shredding the paper, trying to eat my pencils. Did not work out. They love shredding paper. We'll have paper parties from time to time. And Christmas is their favorite. Thank you, Mary. Because they get all that wrapping paper gets ripped off the presents, and I'll take wads of wrapping paper and I'll give them each their own pile of it, and they go to town. They shred it. I mean, they could shred it like super small too, in these perfect little strips. They just have a good old time paper party. Somebody's thirsty. They've been with me so long, I'm used to it now. But when they first, like when Rocky and Jules first came, the blue and gold macaws, I've mentioned before, like with him, I'm third generation to have him. I've known him since I was 4, and it threw me off in the beginning when it was my turn to have him come live with me because I think I'm home alone and go in the other room or whatever, and then all of a sudden I hear either like a man's voice or he would do my grandma's voice and holler at me, Sarah Jane, you get back in here right now. And I'm like, what? And I would laugh because I'd be like, oh my gosh. It was just startling at first, but I've gotten used to it. But they can still throw me off if they do. And I don't know if it comes from the TV. I mean, I would assume the TV or music, I guess. But if they do especially if it's a male voice, that I'm not, I don't recognize it. And I'm thinking, was that the bird or does somebody in my house? They like to dance. I've been dancing with Rocky since I was little. And the Congo African Gracie, man, she gets going. And I can't catch it on video for nothing. I've even tried to hide the camera secretly and get them going and catch them. Nope. They turn into statues. It's like they know. Oh, if you, I'm laughing at my dogs. They got their, we got 3 different watering stations set up in the house, and but their main food eating is here. All of them but one. Well, all of them too, I should say. And there's 5 giant bowls, and the little blind one, who's maybe 10 pounds, decided to take the bowl that Breezy always eats out of. And so she just sat down and just stared at her, kept looking at her and looking at me, looking at her, looking at me like she's eating out of my bowl. And she just walked away now. So she went like, I'm going to finish this. Of course, there's other from, but God forbid. I swear my dogs are like pigs. They're baby pigs. So I grew up on a dairy, goat, and hog farm. Oh, I love pigs. Gosh. But the pigs, they will go to the same nipple to eat every time. They claim a nipple and they'll go back to the same one. My dogs are like that. They won't just all but two. The two little dogs, they'll eat from whatever bowl they want. My Penny Pooh, she makes a point of eating out of everybody else's bowl just to, I think, show dominance or something like, I am because I can. That's her attitude of life. But everybody else, they're real picky. But she'll say something about somebody else eating out of her bowl, that's for sure. And then I have another dog. She's she can't walk every day. Her back end don't cooperate no more. She's a senior and she's got spinal cancer, and so she can't go up and down the steps like everybody else. So she moves level to level by us carrying her. So we make sure she's got her own stuff on her main level for her. Now that one, she is the only purebred in the house. She's the red-nosed freckle beagle. And she's so spoiled. She don't like to be left in a room by herself. But, she's going to be 16. Yeah, she's pushing 16. She's one of my oldest ones. She's got that cancer that they can't do surgery for, and she just keeps on trucking though. And she scoots a lot. And she has I forget the name of it, but basically I call it a scoot sack. So she's got this little thing that she wears that helps her scoot around, dragging her rear end and such. But she gets up on her feet still, and she'll walk. She go walking out front. Yeah, like I said, she's my oldest, so she's coming up on it. She's a winter pup. And then I guess technically they're all winter pups, just different areas. My youngest ones are March, so just at the end of winter, I guess. But yeah, 12-year-olds, and the rest of the girls fall in the middle. They're all girls except one. We got one boy dog. And he's the whiny one. He's the nosy one. He's the into everything one. He's the complainer. I'll tell you what, for all my dogs being seniors, they are, well, even Breezy. Um, she went to the vet not too terribly long ago. She had to get her rabies and her general, and she was having a little bit of issue. She was getting what they call pillow ear, if you're all familiar, where they from shaking their ears or scratching or a few different causes they can vessel inside there and their ear fills up with blood. And it wasn't too bad, but I had him check that out too because I didn't want it to be. Her brother had it years ago, and he had to have surgery on his. I didn't want to have to go that way with her because they're a lot older now. So, but the vet said she doesn't. Her teeth look really good. He's like, "Do you brush her teeth?" He said, "Because her teeth don't show her age at all." And I said, "I do." Daddy, don't be hateful. And but they all, to be, like I say, to be senior dogs, they are still so spunky. Um, even the blind one, even the sick one, and they will play. They play with toys still. They still will run around the yard and play ball with the kids, or run around and play tag with the kids. Like I said, my boy, he plays hide and seek in the house with the kid, with my daughter, all the time. And but they'll play and they'll wrestle and they carry on just like when they's pups. That's not changed. I got one, she's on melatonin and cancer meds, and I got one on arthritis meds, and one is on hip pain meds. And my dogs, I don't, I have one prescription, and that's a belly pill for my stomach ulcers, and that's it. My dogs take more medicine than I do, but even still, they play around, have fun, play with their toys. And I've bought the birds all kinds of toys. Well, I know that there's plenty of birds that love them toys. My birds do not. They won't touch them. They'll touch a treat toy, but not just their basic toys. They like to play with paper. And I have one, she's obsessed with towels. She takes it and throws it over top of herself and does peekaboo out of it and all that stuff. And I cannot do laundry with that bird out. I've tried before. She'll be all up in my laundry basket, pulling stuff out, tossing it all over the place, or taking stuff I folded and tossing it. I'm like, no, 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 no. And she'll laugh. Then she just cracks up laughing. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's amusing herself. I try to have her with me doing stuff most because She scared everybody else, basically. If she's desperate to get back to her cage top or her other perch or something like that, then she'll accept a ride from somebody. But otherwise, she don't let nobody else touch her. I'm the only one that could touch her. I could flip her on her back and cuddle with her and give her hugs, and I can do anything. Rock her like a little baby. But she don't let nobody else touch her like that. And I think a lot of that has to do with um, she had a rough start her first few years of life. She wasn't treated right. One time she was abandoned. She went through 3 homes before me. Well, technically 4, but not really. Because see, like my aunt and uncle was the second generation to have Rocky, and they got her through a bird rescue organization, and they thought, oh, we'll get a friend for Rock. And turned out he don't like her that much. So, but that became her permanent home. It was just then I inherited them, and then she came to me. So she's changed homes 4 times that we know of, but she's been in a family for 2 homes, if that makes sense. So, but she's got trust issues. I don't blame her. No. If I said bye, they're going to roll over and go to sleep. But I just tell them, come on, guys. And they all. But I started, when they was little, I started house training them. And initially, so the big guys came when they were 4 weeks old. But that was because their mother had a cyst in one of her nipples that blew out and had a super bad infection. And she wasn't allowed to nurse that litter of puppies at all. And so all the pups had to be switched over and be hand bottle fed and stuff. Well, this was an oops litter for my mother-in-law at the time. And she had 13 puppies. And so since we knew we were taking these 2, I said, well, I'll just take them now to help lighten your load. And I'll bottle feed and stuff. I've been there, done that. So, but then we started like every 20 minutes with the crate training to go potty and stuff. And, as they got bigger, I would add some time because their little bladders would get bigger. And then by the time they were 9 weeks old, I started putting their little leashes on, and I would hook them to my belt loops of my breeches. And they just they were stuck beside me. So everywhere I went, they were right there. And it got to where I could take them off the leash, and they stayed right there too, unless I put them somewhere and told them to stay there. I've been thinking about that, Mary. I'm not sure. I was thinking, do I do blue eyeshadow? Do I do blue lips? Is that going to be too much blue? So I don't know. I was thinking about the headphones maybe being red. And then I thought, well, if I do those red, then red lips. Like a red shirt, maybe. Then I thought, maybe purple. So I think purple or red. Whatever the lips are, I want them to match the headphones and probably shirt, maybe. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Reds or purples? I got either right here. Conveniently. picture up. I was going to say, I got one that did purple lips. I'm going to get in her eyes for a minute. Just been thinking about this the whole time I was working that hair. Well, that helped. I feel better, but I'm glad I did that to the eyes. And I think I'm going to go in with the purples. Ooh. I never thought about doing green. I don't think I've done green hair either. I've done blue and purple. Yeah, I'm intrigued. Do greens. Okay, Angela. I'll go sit by the water. Good for you. I wish I had that option. Jelly. Mine. I don't even know. Don't know what color that is no more. I don't think I like that green with it. And no, not that. Another green. No, not that green. No, I don't like that green with it either. I just want to find. I want to use those two, but I gotta find one to go with them. I don't feel like that's it. What's that one? Well, I think it's gonna be these. I think the reason I've not played with greens so much is you get so burnt out on greens from flowers and leaves and green trees and stuff. But I haven't had to work any of that on this picture, so. I'm going to have to do another one in red soon. I've been intentionally staying away from red as much as I can. Closest I've come is the red tones I use in my mushrooms. And but red is my favorite color. So when I first got into adult coloring, I was burning my reds up. All the reds that come in Prisma, those are my most replaced pencils. And slowly, as I gained other pencil sets, the reds from those sets became my most common replaced ones too. But the Prisma reds, I would say I've replaced those at least 8-10 times. And I know that her lips and her eyes. What about the eyeshadow? Yeah, just go smoky gray or something. Not sure if I can. Not sure about green eyeshadow though. But I'm going to put that jelly roll glaze over her eyes and her lips. Get that wet look. I think that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to get my lips finished. And then end things for the night. And I will top them with the glaze. Which that was another good tip that I got from Sammy's channel. Was using the glaze. Oh my.
What?
Nothing. I just wasn't expecting that. My daughter just come down. I looked at her and she's got a glistening face mask on with what is that black charcoal thing?
Yeah.
She's got the black charcoal mask on her nose and chin. And then she's got
it was
the kiwi?
It was a cucumber.
A cucumber mask on the rest of her face. So yeah, I wasn't expecting that. That's a look.
I like that picture.
Thank you. There's a copy over there on the printer you can have.
Oh, of course there is. Thank you.
Yes, of course. It printed portrait, and I didn't mean to do it like that. So, voila, there you go. Hey, I told him about I mentioned your boy. That I was like, you got some good hair going on, the boy with the dragon pick.
Oh, I was so confused. Like, what do you mean, boy?
I'm like, you get that picture done, and I'll show it either on one of my lives, or I'll show it on a completed page video thing or something. You want to show my house so far? Yeah. So, I mentioned
check on you.
Okay, well, I'm breathing. Everything's fine.
I'm upstairs jamming.
Thanks for checking on me. Yeah, I got her some. That was one of the things we did the first one ever Christmas break last year. And she's seen the videos, so she was like, I don't know about this. I'm like, I'll do it with you. So we went in the bathroom and we did that, our whole face. And it wasn't bad, or else we don't have the maximum brand that people are using in them videos going around where they look like they're peeling their skin off and stuff. Because it wasn't that bad. But so we did that last Christmas break, and she's been on it ever since. Bye.
Goodbye.
I'll be done in a little bit.
All right.
Did you guys eat good?
Yeah, he's watching YouTube.
Okay. He better not have no apple core in there. He better throw his garbage away. My son's a fruit baby. He loves fruit. I have to fight to get him to get vegetables in him, but there's no problem getting fruit in that boy. Well, she's good about it too. She'll eat fruit. She has no problem with her vegetables either. And she'll even eat all the good funky ones that a lot of people don't like, but we do. broccoli, Brussels sprouts. She loves asparagus, grilled and roasted. She's all about that. But he's a little more complicated when it comes to veggies. He doesn't even really like corn. And I'm just like, what is wrong with you? But the only way this is so boy. Um, the only way I got him to start eating corn was saying, well, corn's really cool because no matter how much you chew it up, it's going to be perfectly normal when you poop. And I said, and he looked at me, he's like, nah, and I'm like, I swear it's the truth. And he ate it. And then the next time he went to the bathroom, he's hollering at me, Mom, I see it, it's there. And so he's been down to eat corn ever since that. That's so bad. But it's the truth. That's what it took. Like I say, it's such a boy thing, but it worked. So he'll eat corn now. But he picky. He don't eat. I should say he's picky. I mean, he's good about eating stuff. I need me a thingamabobber. He's picky when it comes to stereotypical kid food. That's how I should put it. Like, he does not like mac and cheese. He barely likes any cheese at all. He don't want any sandwich with cheese. It's like pizza and maybe a cheese stick. Otherwise, he ain't eating cheese. He don't like any sweets. He doesn't eat cupcakes, anything like that. He does like apple pie. That's probably one of his big major sweet stuff. That's what his birthday. He don't have like a regular birthday cake. He gets apple pie as his birthday. It's his birthday pie, and he's happy about it. Like, whatever. When we go to our friends' kids' birthdays and stuff, other kids he's grown up with, his little buddies and stuff, they know him well enough to know that he's not going to eat the cake and ice cream, and they'll have a bowl of fruit or a fruit platter just for him, really. And so, he does the singing happy birthday to his friend and all that stuff. And then everybody's jumping into a piece of cake and stuff, or a cupcake or a brownie or whatever. He's hitting the fruit. He used to feel bad about it. And I'm like, don't feel bad. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I tried all kinds of stuff, scrape the icing off. Here, try the cupcake. I'll scrape the icing off the top. And just, like, whatever. He's not big on ice cream or any of that stuff. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think I must have got like I don't think I have the good brand of that charcoal mask stuff. Because it comes off pretty easy and it doesn't really hurt. So I do like the green lips. That's my first set of green lips. I'm liking it. Yeah, and I'm glad he'll eat corn now, but I just wish there was I need some other cool corn type tricks to get him to eat his vegetables. Now he'll French style green beans. He's a little better about that than whole green beans. Um, but man, he just, I don't know what it is. You just have vegetable issues with that boy. Like I said, he'll burn up the fruit. he takes he's on a supplement for that. Because I mean, I was worried about still encouraging me vegetables and try it different ways to find something that zings for him, but I want him to be able to be getting the right nutrition from it, you know. Now, one thing I've learned about that glaze, and really I should probably wait it on the pupil part, but like I said, it was bothering me. You want to be done, because from what I have found, once you put that on, you can't really color over top of that anything, even though it's clear. Trying to find it. Yeah. It looks so much like the white that I have to make sure I got the right one. Probably gonna need some more too. I am going to gloss her lips. And once this dries, I'll put my little highlight on there. But if you haven't tried it or you weren't thinking about trying it, another tip I learned the hard way: don't use your heat gun on it. I thought I'd be slick one time and use my heat gun to hurry up and dry it so I can get my highlight on there and all this, that, and the other, and it messes it up. Color on the white, just a light. Dull that down a little bit. You know what I didn't color? I didn't color her little tear ducts. Ooh. Let me see. Put a little color on them things. So I tried to heat it up, and it made it bubble and get ripply, and then kind of peel and stuff. It was all messed up. It was not a good thing. So you gotta wait it out. It'll get kind of cloudy, almost looking milky, whatever. But when it's dry, it's not like that. See, it's going to take away that pupil stuff anyway. It's all right. Just have to put it back. Oh, that looks so funny on screen. Oh, wow. I smeared that. I shouldn't have wiped my finger there, but oh well. It ain't going to come off on that eye. See, now that eye looks all jacked up. I don't know. I don't know what happened. It's okay. It'll be fine once it dries. I don't know if you can kind of see how wet looking. So yeah, I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna fix that eyeball. Put a little highlight on her lips. Figure her shadow out. I'm gonna do these same green. I'm gonna do these headphones green. I might do the shirt green too. Don't know. But didn't get a whole lot done, but face and hair. I'll continue on with the, and that's all I'm gonna leave as far as stuff. I'm gonna paint all the rest of it out. And I'll either finish her on my own or work on her some more next weekend. But that's gonna be it for tonight. I gotta work on, I'm gonna start I started the hashtag for Ria Colors, which was the color artist, a Filipino artist or whatever. And so I chose Kirby because that's what I had, and started a page my daughter's been wanting to do as a buddy color for a while anyway. So I got that started. I still got a whip from last month, a Mariola, that I want to finish. I found an older whip that I started on stream and I lost. It got shoved in a book someplace and I randomly finally found it. And I'm going to start Appetite for Coloring, Tanya, her buddy color in the Jasmine Beckett Griffith book. I think it's called Perched. I got her pulled out, so I'm going to start her. And then whatever else. So thank you, everybody, for coming. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. Always a good time. Enjoy getting to see everybody and hang out, whether it's here at mine or somebody else's. It's always good company. So everybody have a great rest of your weekend and a safe and fun holiday. And I will see you around the streams. So until next time, later, y'all.